college success. Depending on when you're watching this video, because I did say that I would open up week 9 during spring break in case anyone wanted to get ahead. I hope you are either enjoying spring break, or if you are returning from spring break, welcome back, and I hope you are refreshed and ready to go for the second part of our semester, which means I do have to do a quick plug for the workshop. We are in our second 8 weeks of the session, so we want to make sure that you are getting that workshop registered and attended. So there is a whole video dedicated to just that in our course. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down into week 9. So as a reminder, make sure you watch the lecture first. It's going to help you with the basis of all the assignments for this week. We are in chapter 7 on different kinds of thinking, and so it's a normal week where you have a discussion board, due Wednesday for attendance, and then responding to classmates by Sunday. You have a chapter 7 assignment and a chapter 7 quiz. So let's jump into the assignment folder. So here is your prompt for this week. Chapter 7 again was all about creative thinking and decision making and critical thinking and analytical thinking, and so our chapter 7 discussion features creative thinking. It says, some people say creativity is for children. Can you think of how a child's curiosity and willingness to explore can help you understand a college discipline that is unfamiliar to you now? So think about a difficult course you're taking, maybe whether it's now or it's coming up, maybe it's anatomy, physiology, or psychology, whatever it might be. How can thinking like a child in terms of being creative? Children are very creative. They let their imagination sometimes kind of run away maybe, but they also ask a lot of questions. They want to make sure that they find everything out that they can. So how can becoming a creative thinking person, almost like a child, help you explore or understand a difficult concept or a new concept? So think about that. Go back in our text and look at information on creative thinking if you need to, and to kind of explore how being more creative could help you approach something that is academic and difficult. All right? From there, you're going to do your chapter 7 assignment. I think this is a fun one. So it's going to open up into a PDF that you can type in. And it says, here's a little scenario. Your institution has cut funding to the library, tutoring center, and the wellness center immediately. You know that your students will suffer, success of your fellow students will suffer because they cannot access these services. What would you do? So think about kind of what all of these people would do. This is a creative and critical thinking exercise. So look through the list. If you do not know any of these, feel free to Google them. I'm assuming most of these are somewhat familiar. Bugs Bunny, Oprah, Bill Gates, MLK Jr., Mother Teresa, Jay-Z, Malala, and Harry Potter. So think about, again, if you're not sure who they are or what they've done, a quick Google search will tell you who Bill Gates is and the impact he's had on the world, or who Malala is and why she is so relevant. So think about what they would do, how would they solve this problem? So obviously some of these are going to be a little bit more realistic than others because Bugs Bunny is fictional, as well as Harry Potter. Jay-Z is an artist, Bill Gates is more like the business tech. So there's going to be different ways, but this is why it's a creative, critical thinking exercise, is to really kind of think through what would these people possibly do? How would they go about doing this? Would they raise money? Would they raise awareness? Would they come up with some kind of scheme? And then at the end of the potential solutions, which is the most realistic? Which one would probably be feasible? And then which one's the most exciting? Which one kind of is more fun to think about? When you're done, make sure you download it and save it with your changes, and then submit it to that Dropbox there. All right, and then the last thing is your chapter 7 quiz. So chapter 7 quiz, just a reminder again, 2 to 5 sentences. Make sure you're responding to the entire question. All right, so question 1 talks about creative thinking and being open-minded. Do you think you are an open-minded, creative person? Or maybe not. Do you think it depends on the subject? And then talk about a recent situation where you had to kind of question your open-mindedness. Question 2, there is a quote in our chapter 7 that says, do you agree that Mark Twain, he says, there's no such thing as a new idea. That's his quote. There's no such thing as a new idea. Do you agree or disagree? And explain it and defend it with a couple examples. Question 3, have you tried anything new this semester? Anything different that you've done in the past? Or how do you feel about trying to do something different? If you have tried, how did it go? Or do you think sticking with your regular routine is the best way to approach things? Question 4, can you think of a time where you had to use like logical thinking to resolve a conflict? It says at work, but it could be like at school or at home if you're not currently working. And then question 5, chapter 7 talks about metacognition, thinking about thinking, being aware of our thinking processes. So can you remember when you first became aware of your thinking? When did you question your thoughts? How has this changed over time? And just kind of reflect on your metacognitive processes. All right, so as a recap for week 9, you are spending some time in chapter 7. You're posting your original response by Wednesday to the discussion forum for weekly attendance. Responded to classmates by Sunday. The what would bugs do, the thinking, bugs, Oprah Winfrey, Jay-Z, and so on, by Sunday, and your chapter 7 quiz by Sunday.